ओमज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरों श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरत्विषे नमः। पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूप स्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य तन्मयादितरतः चार्थेषु विघ्नस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्म हृदयानि कवये मुह्यन्ति सूरयः। तेयो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र सर्वो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th Canto, chapter number 6. So we read before how the associates of Lord Shiva became to the sacrifice of Daksha and they destroyed the whole sacrifice. And Daksha was killed by Vidbhadra and all the priests who were performing sacrifice, they were punished, and the gods were also chastised. And sage Bhrigu and his statues were uprooted, and Pusha, he lost his teeth, and there was another deva called Bhaga, he lost his eyes. After that, the associates of Lord Shiva, they went back to Kailash happily. So when this happened, then, as you know, if there is some crime happened somewhere, some dacoits come, they plunder, loot. When they leave, then people go and complain to police. Right? When they file a complaint in the police department, then it is the duty of the police to trace the criminals and bring them to the court so that they can be punished. So in those days there was no police. So what is to be done? Now these poor guys, their whole yajna sacrifice was destroyed by Shiva's associates. Although Shiva is a very peaceful person, but when he gets angry, and he gets very angry. So all these devas, these gods, they gathered together and then they went to Brahma, who is the father of everybody. He is father of Daksha. So his son was killed. And he is also father of Shiva. So one brother fighting another brother. Brothers fight, right? Brothers and sisters, brothers and brothers, sisters and sisters. They have rivalry. Yes? So this is from the very beginning. Because this happened in the beginning. So they went, now if two brothers are fighting with each other, then what do? You go to the father and complain. So they all decided to go to Lord Brahma and file a complaint. So that is what is being described here in this chapter. And then we will see what Brahma does. Maitreya Vacha. Maitreya is the sage who is describing this to Vidura. Atha devaganaha sarve rudranikaihi parajitaha Sulapattisanistrinsha gadadhariga mudgaraihi Sanchinna bhinna sarvangaha Saritvik sabdha bhayakulaha Swayam bhuve namaskritya Kartsene etam nivedayan. So after the army of Lord Shiva has left, then the devas who were assembled in that sacrifice, who were defeated by the army of Lord Shiva, and they were very much in distress because their bodily limbs were cut or smashed by the weapons. Because these people, they had shula. Shula means what is called? Trident and the one?
Spear.
And pattis and nistrins. These are various types of weapons in the olden days they used to have. There were no guns in those days. Otherwise they would have just shot them, I think. So they only had swords, clubs, various types of clubs were there. So they were hitting, breaking the bones, cutting their arms, stabbing them. So these people, they were bleeding, and there was no first aid to do bandage for them, and no injection of tetanus. So these poor people with their broken arms, broken limbs, smashed heads, they were terrified. Imagine some thieves come to the house and they attack you and then they leave and you are completely shocked. What happened? So that's what happened. Because Shiva's army was very powerful. They came prepared. When the criminals go to do crime, first they drink. Then it is easy to commit crime. Because when you drink, then you lose sense of compassion. You become cruel. Because you become very egoistic. Nobody is like me. Koasti sadrusha maya. Who is like me? As Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, people, demonic people think like this. So these people also came in that intoxicating state. So all the members of the sacrifice, all the devas, the priests, they were all bhayakula, completely full of fear. they are trembling. They first made sure that these people have left. They were hiding here and there under the bed, behind the safe. So now they all came out and they went to Lord Brahma to complain, because he is the father. So if a elder brother beats the younger one, the big brother beats younger brother, then the younger one goes to the father and complains. So now they are going to the father to complain. And when they go to the mother, we come to you, your children, in the front, complaining that he is beating me. So they went to him and they were hoping that Brahma will do justice. That's why they go. Why the one who gets beaten up goes to the mother or father? Then he thinks that now the mother or father is going to smash that guy. And then I will be happy. Right? So they also went to Brahma and they were expecting that Brahma will be angry at Shiva and then will be in. So they went and told him the whole story. But it didn't work out that way. Nothing like that happened. So, Vishnu Chakravarti, he comments, Kailas Varnanam Sashthe Tatratya Vatamulagam Sivam Saha Surajatva Stuppa Prasade Vidhi. That Brahma, he went with all the devas to Kailas. And therefore in this chapter there is a description of Kailas mountain, where Lord Shiva is living on Kailas, and he goes there to Lord Shiva, who is sitting under a banyan tree. Banyan is this big tree. So Lord Shiva was sitting under that tree, and they will go and praise to him, pacify Lord Shiva. So this is what is described in this chapter. We will read in this chapter. Upalabhya puraivetat Bhagavanadya sambhavaha Narayanascha vishwatma nakashyadharam niyatu. He says that Lord Brahma and Lord Vishnu, they already knew what will happen. So they both did not come to the sacrifice. Upalabhya puraiva etad Bhagavan Abhisambhava Narayanasya Vishwatma Na Kashyam Idhvaraniyatu. Ka means Daksha. They did not go to the sacrifice of Daksha. So intelligent person is one who does not put his head into the trouble. If you know, sometimes there is some people causing some procession, and you know that police is going to come and attack them or chase them away. You already know this, so don't go there. Otherwise you may also get a bullet, rubber bullet on your head, or water bullet. When the police comes and there are riots, or they may in India beat with the stick. In the West they don't beat like that. In India they also hit you with the stick, the police guys. So Vishnu and Brahma, they already understood that this sacrifice is going to end up in trouble. So therefore they did not go there. They stayed home. So many times some problem comes, then it is advisable not to go out. Stay inside the house. And you can watch on television. So tada karmi vibhupraha tejiyasi kritagasi shevaya tatra sa ma bhuyat prayena bhushatam. So after hearing the whole story, what did Brahma tell to them? Brahma spoke something very interesting. This may not be according to the jurisprudence or the principles of justice. The principle of justice is that it doesn't matter who is committing an offense, who is committing a crime to another person, he must be punished. But he says that if somebody is very powerful, tejiyasi krita agasi shevaya tatra ma bhuyat na prayana moksha. That if there is some very powerful person and you commit first crime against him, and then you are thinking that you can live peacefully. So it says, you are dreaming. How is this possible? So what is saying that why are you coming to me now? Why you did not come before when Daksha committed crime to Shiva? When he committed an offense to Shiva, you people did not say anything. When Sati burned herself, then you did not do anything, then you did not come running to me. Now when you got beaten up, you are coming to me. So he says, what do you expect me to do now? First, you are the one who created problem for yourself. And now you expect protection. Right? So, people usually when they complain, they hide their own mistakes. They don't tell the full story. You tell only your side. What about the other side? That's why a judge has to hear both sides. So Brahma already knew the whole thing. Therefore he gave a judgment. And the judgment was that Tejiyasi Krita Agasi Kshemaya Tatra Sa Na Bhuyat. That first of all, if you offend somebody, even if he is not very powerful, then you deserve to be punished for that. But you have offended somebody like Shiva. He lost his wife. He was insulted and then he lost his wife. So now you expect that Shiva should just sit quietly and do nothing about it. So he did not sit quietly. He sent his army. And the army came and took revenge. So now you are coming and says, Tatra ma bhuyat na prayana ubhustam. Now if you want to live, then how is it possible? It is not possible that you can be happy. So that is what he is saying. Vishnu Chakravarti says that Vibhur Brahma Vibhu means Brahma. Tejiyasi Mahatmani Jane Kritagasi Kritamava Pradayasi Pathavite Sati. That one who has created a big offense to a powerful person, Kshemaya Swakalyanaya, then it will not be for one's own welfare. So even if you fight with somebody, even if you create problem for someone, first see how powerful is that person. Even if you have a desire to make fun of somebody, then make sure that you don't make fun of somebody who is very powerful. Because if somebody is very powerful and you make fun of that person, then he is not going to make fun with you. He will finish it. And that's what happened. Daksha was making fun of Shiva and now he lost his head. So that's what he said, that na bhuyat bubhushatam. If you have desire to live, jijivishatam tatu ksheme vishesa bubhusa jijivishama bhuyat nabhat. Sri Rudra Mahatejyasi Aparad Vishay Bhute Sati Aparadhinam Mriyantam Nam. Says one who is committing a big offense to Lord Shiva, then let him die. This is what Brahma is saying. That's what he is meaning. And actually Daksha deserves to be killed. If you remember earlier, we read that Daksha was Prajapati. He had the post of the master of living beings. And then he was made the chief of all Prajapatis. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has commented that why did he promote him? Although he did a grievous offense against Shiva, why did he get promotion? So he said the promotion was done so that he will fall down quickly and then not commit offense again. So sometimes you promote somebody to pull him down. The person is happy that I am getting promoted, but the promotion is actually the death trap. Like when you play chess, so sometimes you sacrifice your piece. The other person is moving towards you, right? He will come and eat up your pawn. So he is very happy that he ate up your pawn and he moves 2 steps towards you. But actually, this is a bait and you are going to trap him and finish him. So this type of movement is dangerous. This is a check game. So that's what has happened to Daksha, that he was promoted and now he is dead. So he says Mriyantam Nam, that let him die. Why? Ma Jivantu, you should not live. Jevitva punarapi aparadham karishyatam. Tesham jivena alam maranamaya. Because if such a person will live, then he will do crime again. There are many countries, they are against capital punishment. Right? In France we have capital punishment? Not anymore. So then what happens that when there is no capital punishment and somebody should be actually given that capital punishment, and if you release him back into the society, he will do the same thing again.
Yeah, right. It's a guarantee issue actually in France.
So this is the problem. If you are compassionate to a criminal, what do you expect? Or instead of hanging such a person, you maintain him in the prison, and how much money you have to spend on this guy? Taxpayers' money just to keep him alive. What is the value of his life? Is he contributing to himself or to others? No. So why is he kept alive? For what reason? Just to tell others that you can also commit crime and you will not be killed. So there will be more criminals, because now they know that I will not be killed and I will live in the prison under the safety. If he comes out, maybe the people whom he has killed, they will take revenge. But now he gets the state protection.
And he teaches others when he's in prison.
Yes. So therefore Brahma is not in favor of that. He says that such a person does not deserve to live. If someone is offending Shiva, a great person, a great God, then such a person should be killed. So that's what he did. Although Daksha is his own son, but he arranged Daksha to be killed. And he did it very cleverly, that no one sees this. What he did, that he made Daksha promoted. So then Daksha became even more proud. And more proud means more criminal. And when he became more criminal, then Shiva killed him. So Brahma stays free and gets Daksha killed, his own son. So this shows that how just he is, that even if his own son is being criminal, he is not sparing him. Let him be punished. So when he is saying it, he said, Prayana Murmushikam. But let him know, this is better. Bhavate sattarthatvat sattayam cha jivan rupatvat bhubhusha jijivishayas tulyarthatagya. So some grammatical explanation is given that this bhu actually means to be, to exist. Right? You know bhu? Bhavati. So why it means to live? It says to be means to live. So it says, therefore desire to be means desire to live. प्रायग्रहणं तेषामेव मध्ये केषाञ्चित् जीवित्वा अपराधम् अकरिष्यताम् जिजीविषा जीवनं च भूयात् प्रयत्नः. So he has used the word here generally, praya. And generally they should not live, such people who are offensive or criminal to great person like Shiva. So why the word generally has been used? Why is not an absolute principle? So generally is used that maybe there are some people who are fine, but then they will not do it again. They rectify, so they can live. So if somebody commits a crime and then that person becomes rectified and you are convinced that this person is normal now, then you can also pardon that person. So there is nothing wrong with it. Therefore rules are not always absolute. So there is also amnesty. Every country. Therefore Brahma says that if the person is not going to be offensive or criminal again, then let that person live. So the idea is that in the society, only a sane person, a moral person, well-behaved person has the right to live. If one is dangerous to the society and causes disturbance to others, then it is the duty of the king or the ruler to finish off such a person. Because such a person is going to commit crime, which means sin, and is going to suffer more in his next life. It is actually good to remove such a person, because if he lives, he will continue committing crime, and if you believe in rebirth, then you are allowing him to do more sin. So it is welfare for such a person that such a person is given capital punishment. Then you are making sure that he does not commit more crime, and this way he is not harming others and also not harming himself. If somebody has a gun in his hand and he is criminal minded, then if you take away gun from him by force, you snatch it away, then you are benefiting him also and others also. Because by this gun, he is only going to harm somebody, and by harming others, he will also harm himself, because then he has to go to prison. So just as taking away gun from such a person, or if he has money, then you take away his money, you are actually helping that person. So sometimes God also does that. Many times it is seen that those people who take to spiritual life, they are poor. And people think, oh, he is very pious person, he is well behaved, why is he poor? God is not helping him. People think that if you become religious, then you should be rich. But sometimes when God gives His grace, He makes sure that you lose your wealth. Not always. It's not that this is a rule. But sometimes He does that. And you may think that what kind of God is this? That He is taking away the wealth of a religious, pious person. Actually, God is very clever, He is intelligent. He knows that if he has wealth, he will go to bar, he will go to club, he will go here and there and waste his time. When he has no money, then he will sit in his house and meditate. Because he cannot go on vacation. Right? So which is good, that he goes on vacation and does nonsense, or he sits in the house and meditates. So many times this happens. So we should not immediately blame God. We should know that His intelligence is beyond our intelligence. He does not think the way we think. We do not know what is good for us. We are like children. They see sweet, they want to eat. They see chocolate, they want to eat. But actually it may be causing harm to health. So then God is like a doctor. Ayurvedic doctor. Because modern doctors, they don't give any prohibition or restriction on eating. They will say, take this medicine, you can eat anything. How is it you can eat anything and you get cured? Because food has an influence on our body. So in Ayurveda they give medicine and they also tell you what not to eat. So you may think, what is this? I don't want to go to such a god, such a doctor. I better go to an allopathic doctor. At least they don't put any restriction. Many times people don't go to Ayurvedic doctors only for this reason. That Ayurvedic doctor will tell you, don't eat this, don't eat that, don't do this, so many don'ts in the principle. And people are not interested in following anything, they want to enjoy. But actually by enjoying they create suffering for themselves. So, it is for this reason that laws are made. If there are laws made in the Vedic scriptures, we had these books of moral codes, Smritis, Manusmriti, Yajnavalkya Smriti. Now people find fault with these books. That while this book is saying if someone is doing like this, then punish him like this. No, they have a higher wisdom. They are not seeing from our shallow vision. They have a deeper vision. They are seeing what is the ultimate welfare for a person. Even if that person has to be punished now, it will bring him good. So a child does not want to study, does not want to go to school. The parents want. So the child may think that parents are like my enemies. He wants to stay home with the mother, and the mother is sending him to school. So it may sound cruel from the child's point of view. But parents know that it is for the welfare, for the benefit of the child. So similarly, there are rules which are bad. They may look like cruel to us because we are also like grown-up babies. Physically we grow, but we are not so much intellectually grown. Therefore we really do not know what is our best interest. If we knew what is our best interest, then we will not be in the soddy, miserable plight which we usually are. Why are we in troublesome situation? Because we have used our childish mind. So if you use childish mind making childish decisions, then the result is also similar. So that's why we have to hear from the books of wisdom what they are telling. Because these books and these principles, they are based on deeper understanding of human mind and how to train this mind so that we don't suffer. All the problems are coming from our own mind. We may think that the enemy is lying outside and troubling us, but actually the enemy is inside us. Dasa, why he got killed? Because of his own mind. He was so proud that just for a little thing he cursed Shiva. Shiva was not enemy of Daksha, nor did Shiva do anything to disturb him. But it is all Daksha's own problem. And his own problem he is throwing on the head of Shiva. So we are very expert in blaming others. The eye cannot see itself. We can see 500 meters away, but we cannot see what is next to the eye. So we don't see our own faults, but we can see others' faults all the time. We are seeing that. This is human mind. We are making mistakes all the time that we don't realize. We are always looking at others' mistakes. But what is the benefit of looking at others' mistakes? If you are sick, then do you have to cure yourself? Or you are thinking, well, this guy has a fever and this guy is having diarrhea. So how does it help you? Okay, you diagnose his fever, his diarrhea, his malaria, or whatever. But what about your own self? You are also suffering. So you cure your own disease. So we don't cure our own disease and we analyze the whole world. And if we are the doctors. So that is how human mind works. So Brahma is explaining this, how the human mind works. So he already knew, he and Vishnu, they both are very intelligent and they are not stupid like Daksha. They got invitation to come. It's not that they were not invited. Daksha did not invite Shiva, but he had invited Vishnu and Brahma. But they both did not come, as it was said that Narayana is Vishwatma. Narayana is Vishwatma, he is the Atma of everyone, so he knows. And Brahma, he also knows. He is Bhagavan. He is also called here as Bhagavan Abjasambhava, born from the lotus of Lord Vishnu. So Bhagavan means, why the word Bhagavan is used for him here? That he is also omniscient. So they both knew very well, and therefore they did not go. So don't, as we were discussing in our previous class, that don't go to the sabha, to the assembly, where some problem is going to happen. Because either you have to speak up, or you have to get implicated. So it has already happened. These people are already implicated in an offense. So now better avoid. Don't commit offense, and also avoid the company of offenders. Don't be a criminal and don't be with criminals. If you are with criminals, then you can also get caught. And this story of that this Animanda Rishi, poor guy, he was sitting in his own ashram, meditating. Two thieves, they went and they stole in the palace of the king. Because in the olden days, common people did not have much money. So what can you steal? Kings used to have a lot of wealth. So they stole in the palace. And when they were coming out, they figured out that thieves had stolen. So the guards, they ran and they were chasing them. So these thieves, they're running with the money or whatever they had stolen, some gold. Then they realized that guards are on their heels. So they went to the ashram of this Animanda Rishi. And he was sitting in his ashram meditating. So they put the booty in his room, in his hut, and they slinked away quietly from there. So when the guards came from the behind, they saw this guy meditating, and they went inside the hut and they found what was stolen. So they thought, well, he is a thief and now he is trying to trick us, sitting here as if he is a yogi. So they caught him. And then he got punished by the king. So he was not a thief, but just because these thieves, they entered his house, he got implicated. He was not even willingly with them. What to speak if you willingly associate with thieves or criminals? Then you will be in trouble. So avoid this bad company. This is what they are teaching. Why did they not go there? Because they realized it is useless to go in such a sacrifice which is being performed by an unjust person who is so proud, so egoistic that he can dare to offend even Shiva. So that's the education from this, that we have to be very careful with whom we associate. It's very, very important. You associate with the wrong people, then you finish. Actually, our life is very much dependent on the association. In one word, we can say that association is that which makes or breaks our life. Good association makes our life successful, bad association makes us suffer. So, very important whom we choose to associate. And even small association can have big influence. Imagine somebody would have just come for that sacrifice and not for the previous one. The poor guy does not know the whole history. And he's also getting the club on his head from both sides. And he's saying, why are you hitting me? I didn't do anything. So it happens many times like this. Sometimes innocent people, they just get beaten up for nothing. And then what can you do? Just your mistake that you made there. So Lord Brahma and Lord Vishnu, they did not go there because they understood, they knew this. And therefore Brahma is saying that such people do not deserve to live. They should not hope for life, basically. That's what he's saying. That they have to get the capital punishment sooner or later. So now what is the solution? Of course, he is not just giving a lecture. He gives a solution to it. So if we commit a mistake, then intelligent thing is to accept the mistake. Usually our tendency is to defend ourselves and try to prove that I am not at wrong, I have not done anything criminal, offensive, and in fact I never do anything like this. And then we even hire lawyers to protect us, who will interpret the law and try to prove how we are free from any such mentality. But in case of spiritual life, you cannot escape this. Because here there is a higher principle working. Nature, God, super soul inside, they all know. So if you are not sincere to yourself, then nobody can help you. So most important thing in spiritual life is to be sincere to oneself. You can make a show in front of others that you are innocent, but you cannot suit God. He is there, He will arrange for it. You can trick the state government, the police. It is possible that you can protect yourself and police is not able to find any mistake in you. They don't find any proof because there is a way the law works. There have to be some witness or some signs of crime to be found. So you can do that. But what about God? He knows. He is the Sakshi. As Krishna says that I am Sakshi, I am the witness. So God is witness of all our activities. Everything we do is witnessed by God. And it is recorded. So He will give you the result. You cannot escape from Him. And not only that you cannot escape, then it will become your habit. Then you will become a hypocrite. So cheating God means cheating yourself. You can cheat others, but you cannot cheat God. So we have to be truthful to ourselves. If I know that I have done something wrong, now don't try to prove to your mind that I have not done something wrong. Many times people suffer from psychological problems because they actually try to cover up their own mistakes knowingly. They know it. So that's how the split personality comes. Because one side knows that I am wrong and the other side is trying to pose I am not wrong. So then you have double wrong. So if our goal is to be devoted to God, to have love of God, to be free from the lower nature, then we have to be truthful. Because God is truth. Satyam Param Dhimahi. Bhagavatam begins with Satyam Param Dhimahi, supreme truth. So we meditate on supreme truth. So if we want to be with supreme truth, we have to be truthful. If we are not truthful, then we should not hope to be with the supreme truth. Then we can remain here in this world. It's full of lies. Everywhere there is falsity, illusion, cheating, all this, plenty of it. With God, there is no such thing. If you want to live with God, then you have to be truthful, sincere. So that's what humility means. People ask about humility. Humility means to be truthful. So he is therefore telling them now. The solution is that first of all you understand that you have made a mistake. And now you rectify it. Don't try to prove to me that you are not wrong. So these poor guys, they actually went to Brahma, hoping that Brahma will say, yes, this is wrong, you are all Brahmanas, you are all very pious, religious, and you are engaged in a religious activity. And these ghostly people came and disturbed. This is punishable. No, he did not say that. So he says, Athapi yuyam kritkil visabhavam ye barhisho bhagabhajam paradu prasadiyadbham parishuddha chetasa Shipra prasadam pragvahitam vikarmam. He says, even though all this has been done, this is the solution I am giving you. First of all, yuyam kritkil visabhavam, that you are very offensive to Lord Shiva. And what is the offense? Barhisho bhagabhajam paradu, that you did not give the share to Shiva in sacrifice. Not only that you disrespected him by words, as you know, Shiva was telling to Daksha was telling to Shiva how he is so unclean and ill-behaved and not dressed properly and surrounded by impure, unclean people. All this he was telling. So this is very demeaning and offensive. And then did not give him the share in the sacrifice which he deserves. How can there be a sacrifice without respecting Shiva? So therefore, what is the solution? He says, prasadiyadbham shipra prasadam pragrihit amritam. That now you go and try to pacify Shiva. So is it possible? He says yes, because he is Shipra Prasada. He becomes pleased quickly. It's called Ashutosha. Easily pleased. So what do you have to do for that? Pragrihita Amripam. Just go and touch his feet. But one condition is Parishuddha Chetasa. You should do it with clean mind. Not making a show. Sometimes people also do that. Two parties are fighting and they go to the mediator And mediator listens to both and talks to them and says, all right, now both of you ask for forgiveness to each other. So they ask, but inside they are not convinced. They are saying, okay, don't worry, now I will ask for forgiveness, but later on I will get even with you. So that way it does not work here in spirituality. One must understand that yes, I made a mistake and I accept it and I will not do it again. So if one thinks like this, then one is forgiven, that is the meaning. But if one is simply making external show, then that will not help. So for that reason he says that Parishuddha Chetasa. So you will be humble, that is the meaning of clean heart. Means that inside should be clean. Because the problem is always inside, and then it manifests outside. So if inside is not cleaned, then outside has no meaning. So athapi yad bhuvusha ityartha. So he says, if you still have desire to live, then this is what you have to do. Krit kilvisha yuyam bhavam prasadeta. That you have offended Shiva, therefore now you go and satisfy, pacify him. Ye bhavanto barhiso yagyasya bhagavajam bhavam paradi pura deva khanditavanta. Because you did not keep a share for him. Na chatat prasadu duskara iti vachyam. It is not very difficult to please him. What do you have to do? Pragrihita. Angri padma grahana matrena sa prasideta. He will be pleased if you just go and catch his feet. Tada antakaranam aham janami. Because I know the mind of Shiva. So this is also the characteristic of great people, that they don't take the offense very seriously. Because they understand that people in this material world are like this and they make mistakes. Their interest is in rectifying. If they don't give punishment, then no one will be rectified. But they don't take something personal that I have to take it, I have to just demolish this person. They are not malicious. So this is Brahma's advice to them. Now in next class we will read how they will all go to Shiva and try to please him. So we stop here. Any question?
About this Brahma who was sitting in his room and his heart meditated and he was involved in all this injustice basically. So and he got, I think that he was punished very heavily also. So now we think that this person is innocent or something. And although people are innocent, they can be also involved in bad things.
Yeah, it's possible.
So and then he had to suffer the whole punishment and
yes.
So sometimes we can also get involved in kind of, that always is something that is a reaction of something that we did.
And in his case it was also a reaction of something he did.
In his case, What can be also happen if somebody doesn't have a reaction to suffer and it just...
That's why one has to be careful not to mix with such people. It happens beyond your control and there's nothing you can do. You just take it. It's an outcome of something I've done in the past.
Is that going to think like that all the time or something happens?
Yes.
I want to express this. Last week, I was talking with my younger son, and I told him, I know everything about you. You are sharing with this boy that I don't like. And he told me, oh, Mommy, but he was very upset. Everybody disliked this. And I said, you go away from him. I said, but I have to serve him. I said, go away from him, because I tell you something that in Spanish you say, dime con quién andas y te diré quién eres. Tell me with who you share, and I tell you who you are. So go away from him. Even if he has problem, go away from him. I mean, if he has problem, his parents is going to take care of that. But you are away from him because you are going to be, and the people are going to see that. So he says, oh, okay, even if I have to do service, and I said, you don't do service with him. You serve to the poor people, this and that, but go away for the people that is in trouble. So, yeah.
And you have to be judicious in whom we associate, whom we serve, whom we walk around.
You were speaking about how do you say it? Amnesty?
Amnesty?
Yeah, somebody can be also forgiven, let's say.
Amnesty.
Amnesty, yeah. Amnesty. Yeah. That if somebody is behaving bad, but then he has to repent, or what can be...
If the person is willing to change, then
we can forgive